Hello guys, welcome back to SWS Boxing, and today I'm delighted to get Aaron Bird back on the channel, currently 6-0 and your Celtic light heavyweight champion, and still as it was on February the 8th. Um yes, how are you today, Aaron?
Yes, I'm not too bad. Yourself? How are you doing?
Yeah,
Nice
I'm
to see
all
you again.
I'm all good, mate. Thanks for coming back on.
Yeah, always a pleasure.
And yeah, well, we'll jump straight into that the rematch. You said you'd do it again. You did it again, and in more convincing fashion this time.
Yes, I took a lot from the first fight. I did say to him, I felt like it was the best of him, and it wasn't the best of me. And we worked on a lot of things, and yeah, it definitely showed in the rematch.
And do you feel like you had the best of him in the first fight, whether the rematch, or do you just think it was more your performance?
Yes, I think it was my progression over the year. Even though it was my only fight, since then I've been around sparring and I've been working on a lot of things. And yeah, I think
Yeah, and talk us through the fight. Of course, you won this time by unanimous decision. The first fight was by split decision. Overall, a better performance from yourself this time round.
massively, massively a better performance. But the last fight wasn't a bad performance. I had to show a lot of character in there. But this time around, I looked like a level above. I looked like a different fighter.
Yeah, and the first fight it was close, but
Yeah.
this time round you put it to bed well and truly this time with a convincing performance. As the scorecards show, I agree with the 97 and 93, maybe 98, 92, but you were a definite winner in that fight, whether you give him 3 rounds. Yeah, you would give him 3 rounds at most. But yeah, as it said on the cards, 97, 93 twice, 99, 91 as well on the other one.
Yeah, well, three rounds is generous, but I thought I won 9 rounds to one. You know what I mean? That's what I thought, but I knew that at the end of the fight, I was a lot more convinced this time than I was last time.
Yeah, and how were you? Um, yeah, talk us through the fight on how you felt it was going through the rounds.
Um, yeah, I felt like I started better this time. I was controlling the range and that, and he was having glimpses of success, but he didn't sustain anything. And yeah, I knew I kept it in my head this time, um, that I'm not gonna let him get to me. I'm not gonna show him that he's getting to me, even if he is. You know what I mean? Like in the first fight, when he put me under pressure, I sort of not panicked a bit, but I looked a bit flustered. Yeah, so it was a completely different me, and I think that threw him off as well.
Yeah, and did you feel yourself getting better as the rounds went on?
Yes, it looked like that when I watched it back. Yeah, definitely. I think my best rounds were probably round seven, eight, and nine. Um, Watching it back, yeah. So yeah, I felt like I got stronger as the rounds went on. Yeah.
And that's where you really, really took it to him. Did you ever feel like in the fight you had him hurt, or you could have jumped on him a bit more?
I made him walk onto a few shots. But I don't think that I had him as such as you know, on the verge of getting him out of that. I didn't think it was that point, but I made him walk onto a few nice counters.
100% you did, because
Yeah.
even if he had that little bit of success, like a little bit of success, you'd always reply.
Yes, definitely. In the vast majority of the rounds too. Yeah. That was the massive difference this time. Yeah.
Yeah, and as you said, it was a better performance from yourself. Did you think it was a tougher fight in the first fight or the second fight this time round, or was it more the fact that you made it easier for yourself with how good your performance was?
Yeah, I think I did make it easier for myself and Falcon my performance was, and when I stick to my boxing, I'm a better fighter. On the first fight, I sort of got a bit too excited. I was putting too much into the shots, and I sort of played his game. Um, but that's what made the rematch. Yes, but yeah, definitely, I think the performance made it an easier fight. But Bobby Morrell, he is a good fighter, and he will beat a lot of good fighters as well. You know what I mean? But that's what I believe I can do. Yeah, I've always said I'm underrated. Well, I don't say it to everyone, but that's just what I believe. And yeah, I will surprise a few more people in the future.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I mean, there was people doubting you going into the first fight, people doubting you going into that rematch. You put those doubters um, wrong.
Yes, I can't work out why really. You know what I mean? Why they would out to me. You know, I've had a decent amateur career. I've had more experience than him in the amateurs as well, and it was only one fight between us. So I can't work out why I was such a massive underdog in the first fight. And then people f still thought he was going to win the rematch. So yeah,
But you
I
proved them all wrong.
100%.
And yeah, of course, that was your first defense of your Celtic title. What did that mean to you? Of course, winning it must have been special, but defending it again and putting that story against Bobby to bed must have felt even better.
Oh yeah, being on BBC as well is was fantastic. A great platform to be on you know to have that rematch and show everyone what I can do. Yeah. And boxing on BBC is, I won't say it's something I've dreamt of, but it is like a dream because I've been what boxing used to be on BBC and ITV when I was a kid,
Yeah.
and to be boxing on there now is fantastic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that's another box ticked. And
Yeah,
of course, you came away with your belt as well, so that's another box ticked.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so of course, you've defended that, and of course, Bobby is he's a good fighter as well.
Yeah.
And it was a convincing performance of somebody who is at Celtic title level. So, what sort of have you been back in the gym since the fight?
Yes. We got some big news coming soon. A few things are just on hold. Very soon. In fact, I thought I'd have been releasing it earlier, but you know what boxing's like. And yeah, ultimately, yeah, I would like to fight for the British or Commonwealth title by next year. Yeah, I believe I can win it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And of course, we'll the current champ is Louis Edmondson. What do you make of the current British champion?
I think obviously he's at the level because he's won the belts, but I don't see him beating me next year. I don't see him beat me now, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. It's up to my managers and all that, but when it does happen, I can't see how he can beat me. That's that. But you know what I mean. Um, if he's still got the belt, of course he's a decent fighter, but I think that I'm better. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's good domestic scene at the minute. Some good fights getting announced. I've seen was it Troy Jones v Ezra Taylor? Troy Jones is the current English light heavyweight champ. He's
Yeah,
boxing Ezra Taylor. If so, what do you make of that fight? And do you sort of have a close eye on that fight as well?
yeah, of course. Because of course they're going to want to fight Louis Edmonton as well for the titles, and the Commonwealth may become vacant, and they all in the sort of mix. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that I'd make Ezra Taylor the slight favorite. He's got a good record. He's had 11. He stopped 8. He stopped Joel McIntyre, who's been a distance with some decent fighters and
Yeah.
all that. Yeah, so I make him the favourite. I didn't think much of Troy's performance against that ex-footballer.
What,
Um,
Michael Stevenson?
yeah, I thought that he should have won that more comfortably than what he did. But yeah, um, they fights out there as well. You know what I mean? Possibly, you know what I mean? There's a lot of options in the light heavyweight division. In the light heavyweight division, yeah.
Yeah, and of course, Ben Whitaker's boxing, Liam Cameron. That's in, I'd say, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I think. But yeah,
Yeah.
who've you got for the rematch in that one?
It's an interesting one. I think that Ben Whittaker is he's a fighter that can go to the next level because he's Olympic silver medalist and he's got a lot of talent. So he can go to the next level. We know Liam Cameron's a good fighter. Um, he lost on a split against Lyndon Arthur. So I think you can sort of you can say that he's a good fighter, but he's that sort of level, and we don't know. And Ben Whittaker can go to that next level. So it's a case on how Ben can handle the situation. Um, I'm going to edge towards him.
Mm,
Yeah, but I'm not certain on that one.
yeah.
But I will go with a Ben Whittaker close points win.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I mentioned it in the interview we had before your rematch with Bobby, but is a Welsh title something that you'd look for or not really?
If it's there, 100%, we'll take it. But of course, the Celtic title is normally you win the Welsh and then you go for the Celtic title. That's the way most people do it. But yeah, if it's there, yeah, we'll take it. Yeah, that's it really. Most boys are in Wales are fighting at super middleweight,
Mm,
and I can't seem to think of any light heavyweights in Wales that are looking for title fights. You know what I mean?
yeah, there's not many
No,
Welsh light heavyweights at the minute.
there's not. No, I'm sort of flying the flag. Oh.
Yes, 100%, mate. Um, yeah, I mean, you said you had something in the pipeline. Um, could you say sort of what month it is without, giving too much away?
Well, it could be this month, and yeah, it could be this month, and there's something bigger then for the summer.
Oh, so you've got, well, fingers crossed it should be announced in the next couple of days then, hopefully.
Yes, definitely.
Are you looking forward to the fight getting announced?
Yes, always. I'm just eager for it to be announced. Yeah, that's what boxing's all about, really, isn't it? You know what I mean? You announce fights and get people interested, and yeah, keep on climbing the ladder.
100% we'll be keeping our eyes peeled for your next fight there. I'm sure it's gonna be a cracking fight as you're always in a good fight.
Yeah. If you look at my record, everyone, or if you watch me fight, everyone I've boxed have come to win. You know what I mean? So it's.
Hmm. And is there any fights you're looking forward to that's coming up as well?
I'm not. I'm interested in the Ben Whittaker and Liam Cameron fight. I think that's gonna be an interesting one. Um, the Eubank and Chris and Conor Ben. That's just. I don't want to say it's a farce, but it's only happening because of the fathers. Because it's not a
Mm.
relevant fight for either of them.
Who've you got for that one if you had to say?
I think that Eubank's size may be the determining factor because they're the same sort of level. Because Eubank is he is world class.
Mm,
Um, But obviously, he's lost to only good fighters. Conor Ben hasn't really boxed anyone of note. He, he beat Chris Algeria when he was past it, and
mm.
the other guys, who are they? So yeah, I'll go with Chris. But if Conor Ben blows him away, I won't be surprised. Also, because Conor Ben he's undefeated and it's hard to say how good he is until he fights somebody somebody more live. You know what I mean?
I don't think it's going the distance, just put it that way.
No, I think it's going to be I think it'll be an entertaining fight. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. What did you think of the whole press conference situation when Eubank egged Connor? Is that something that you could do in your next fight with your opponent? Oh, nah.
No, I don't think that's something I'll ever do. To be honest, with you, I think that's just a bit school playground stuff. It's not something I would do, but yeah, it is what Eubank. and Conor Ben. Eubank Jr. is a very strange customer. He's hard to read. Um, but it is personal between them. Um, Chris Eubank Jr. mentioned to Nigel Benn, if you put my hand around me again, then you won't be getting it back. I thought that was out of order. So yeah, they've both sort of done stuff which are which I'm not a fan of, but it
Mm.
is what it is a good fight. It's going to be a good fight to watch. But on paper, it's a pointless fight for both of them.
Oh, so if you were Eubank or Ben, who would you like if they were like if this fight weren't happening, who would you sort of want to see them against?
Um, I think Conor Ben, he's a light middleweight now, isn't he? I think a good fight would be against Virgil Ortiz
Mm.
for him. But I don't believe Virgil Ortiz holds a world title, doesn't he?
I think yeah he does.
He
Or
does.
does he? Or no, interim because he fought Madrimov in Saudi not long
Yeah,
ago.
yeah. But that fight for not a world title is a ridiculous fight because I think Virgil Ortiz is a very good fighter as he showed against that Madrinov.
Mm.
Um, Eubank Jr., who would I like to see him fight? Probably Hamza Shearers would be a good one.
I think Hamza might be moving up to super middle though.
All right, okay.
But yeah,
Maybe Lara will box his head off, but
eh, some good
oh, oh,
fights though out there.
yeah, but I think that he's just interested in the big money fight, Eubank Jr., and he,
Mm. It's sort of come to the point where he's looking for the big money fights.
yeah, and
But it's one people want to see though.
he's never won one of the big four belts, so that's why I can't work out about him.
But there you go. And any other fight? What about Lyndon Arthur v Yard? Because that's another light heavyweight fight.
Yeah, yeah, I like that fight, and I think that Yard may have the beating of No, I think that Lindenhoff may have the beating of Yard because
Really?
I wasn't impressed by Yard's last performance. He looked like he would have blown that guy away before. Um,
Yeah.
was it a Latvian or something like that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that Lindenhoff, if he boxes like against Lindenhoff, I think that Lindenhoff will beat him on points. 'Cause, yeah, definitely.
Well, that's one we're gonna disagree on for that one.
So you fancy Yard to do the job on Lyndon Arthur, yeah?
Yeah, I think he does. I mean, the first fight, you would sort of say Lyndon probably edged it, but the second fight, Yard
Yeah,
did a job on him, didn't he?
he did, yes.
And do you
But
feel like Yard, knowing that Yard, it's not like it's not like that second fight was close and it was in the later rounds and Arthur was up. It was a beat down in that second fight though, wasn't it? I think it was fourth round or fifth round. It was
it
the
was the
fourth, I think.
yeah, it was the fourth. Yeah, it was sort of he just was too hot to handle. Yeah, so I think you could be right there. Yeah, but it's hard to say because Yard put in a good shift against Beterbiev.
Yeah.
So we was expecting him to blow away that.
Yeah, but again, not Yard. Arthur's been quite active, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't say overly impressive in his last few fights, but he has got the win, hasn't he?
Well, I think Arthur is the sort of boxer who sort of doesn't come down to opponent's level, but when he boxes guys at, say, a lower level, he'll just do enough to win. And then when he fights the top guys, he will sort of give a good count himself, like he did against, well, Bivol. He went 12 rounds. So, that's
Yeah,
it is a really good fight. I can
it's
see
gonna
why,
be interesting.
yeah, I can see why you have Yard as the favorite, but based on his last performance, it seemed like he was sort of losing that Yard.
Do you could be again another fight that comes down to see who's got that bit more? Because in my opinion, it'll be
Yeah,
hard to see where like who gets beat goes from here. It'll be sort of a long way back, in my opinion, if they want to be chasing another shot at the world title.
yeah, definitely. And of course, I think that Bivol and Beterbiev, one of them's going to move up, and I think Beterbiev, he's on the verge of retiring, and he's 40 years old.
Mm.
Well, I don't want to say that, but you know what I mean. Or if he stays around for so long, he's not going to be as effective. I would think so anyway. So yeah, there's going to be more opportunities to become world champion for both of them if they can win this fight. Yeah,
Yeah,
I,
because it's getting really some real good fights going. Buatsi no, sorry, Smith beat Buatsi, but you know what I mean. Sort of getting in that run. Maybe
yeah,
the winner fights Callum Smith, maybe.
yeah. I think a lot of people want to see Yard and Smith. I think that's a cracking fight. Um, I think Smith is the man in Britain. Um, but again, what was he like 35? 34, 35. I think people are doubting him against Boatsy as well, and he done the job. Yeah. So yeah, and of course Boatsy he's still in the mix as well.
Yeah, 100%. Would you? What about Oh no, I think Craig's Richards has gone. Has he moved? No. Oh no, no, he's still fighting at light heavy because Poddy McCory came up.
Yeah.
Where would you see Spider in this sort of mix? Is it? Would you say he's still up there or not really?
Well, he had a good win last time out, but he did get outboxed against Hutchinson,
Yeah,
which was unexpected. But Hutchinson is a very good fighter. So yeah, I suppose he could still be in some big fights, and he'll have and if he beats some big names, he's back in there, isn't he?
100%. And yeah, before I let you go, as always, Aaron, I'll let you thank just anyone at all.
Yeah, all my trainers, my sponsors, yeah, and yeah,
Uh, And from me, Aaron, a big thank you for your time as well today. And yeah, I can't wait to see your fight announcement.
yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
Stay tuned, guys.
Stay tuned.
Thank you, Aaron. Bye.
Thank you. Have a good one. Ta-ra.